Hey guys, Patrick Wind here and welcome to the world of Omni-channel Marketing, which basically means not applying just one marketing channel, but several ones. And here we can differentiate between multi-channel marketing and omni-channel marketing. The difference is that you can see on the left, multi-channel marketing basically means that you apply different channels like physical store, mobile, radio, newspaper, web, or now a digital world like Facebook, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, and let's say also SEO, search engine optimization. That will be multi-channel, so you do several things. And omnichannel now means that you put the customer in the center of all of your activities. Okay, so everything is coherent, everything plays together. So for example, you show a prospecting ad on Facebook and on Instagram, and then you run a retargeting ad on YouTube or in the Google Display Network. And of course, omnichannel marketing is the future, and omnichannel marketing now basically means that we apply all the different channels together. And for example, besides our very beloved Facebook and Instagram ads, we also apply other channels. For example, YouTube ads, we apply Google search, so the ones that show up directly below the search, well, actually on top of all the search results. If someone searches on Google, for example, for Hotel Barcelona, before the organic results, they're the paid results. Then the display ads, which are these banners all around the internet, thanks to the Google Display Network. Then, of course, search engine optimization, which comes below the search, so the Google search ads. There come the organic results, which are for free, right? So therefore, it's a very good long-term investment. Then, of course, if you're in the B2B segment, LinkedIn sponsored ads are a really hot topic. And additionally, there are also other marketing channels like Snapchat, like TikTok ads, and also native ads like Taboola. And why am I telling you all of that? Well, because I strongly recommend you to not just be like a horse and have a very narrow view and just know that Facebook ads exist, that Instagram exists, but you really should widen your horizon a little bit. This is on the one hand a very secure bet, because it allows you that, I'm a huge fan of Facebook ads, and I know that over the next years it's going to be absolutely fantastic. But imagine that at one point of time, Facebook ads doesn't work that well anymore. What are you going to base your business on? So it's good that you're also a little bit, that you also have a little bit of a broader understanding of the digital marketing world. And it's very good that you also know that YouTube ads exist, how Google search ads work, display ads work, SEO, LinkedIn sponsored ads, and also the other marketing channels. That's on the one hand. And on the other hand, think about it. If you have a current client, okay, and you run your Facebook and Instagram ads for this client, of course, you could charge the client even more if you also run a retargeting campaign on YouTube. You could charge the client more if you also set up a Google search campaign or the retargeting in the display network. If you can consult this client on SEO, of course, it's an additional value for the client that you can charge them for. And if your clients are in the B2B industry, you can show them how to set up LinkedIn ads. You can even set up the campaigns for them. It's really not that complicated, and you can charge them significantly more. And also all the future marketing channels like Snapchat, TikTok, and also native ads with Taboola, for example. Of course, this will increase the value that you give to the client, and therefore you can charge them more. I would say let's start with my favorite omnichannel, with my favorite other marketing channel besides Facebook and Instagram, which is YouTube ads. Okay, why? Well, because I think YouTube is a huge platform. I basically also spend a lot of effort in creating content for YouTube, and I know that the quality of the traffic that YouTube has is pretty good, because people pay a lot of attention. They tend to always have the sound activated, and they go there to learn something. So I really like to recommend you to also think about the massive YouTube ecosystem. They're the second largest search engine behind Google. They were created in 2005. In 2006, Google bought YouTube, and ever since then, YouTube belongs to Google. Therefore, when we run our YouTube ads, we run it inside the Google Ads Manager. Okay, and how can we now grow on YouTube? I told you I do a lot of effort to grow my subscribers on YouTube in an organic way. And here are basically two hacks. One is like the best time to post. Here you will see that the best time to post is Thursday and Friday. Okay, why? Well, there's a little delay until it really gets pushed to the entire audience, and therefore on Saturday and Sunday, which are the days when we have the most viewers on YouTube, all of your posts that you did on Thursday and Friday will definitely already be completely up and running for them. Moreover, between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. During work days and 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. on the weekends is the best day to really get your stuff out. So as I said, when should you post? On Thursday and Friday? Well, between 12 p.m. and 4 p.m. That's the best moment. Most viewers watch videos in the evening, so evening like early afternoon, between 12 and 4 p.m. So videos would be indexed by the evening. That's very smart. So because exactly, so the thing here is that it takes a little bit for YouTube to be indexed. It's not like Instagram that it's immediately out there for everyone. Okay, so if you post, if you know that typically in the evening the majority of the people watches the YouTube videos, like in the evening, let's say between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. But if you post at 7 p.m., it will not be already indexed. So you have to have a little buffer before that. Therefore, we recommend to already post between noon and 4 p.m. So the Google machine has some time to index the content. And so for the evening, it's going to be up and running. And also, if you want to make the most out of this Saturday and Sunday peak, you should already post on Thursday or Friday in order to really have it indexed up until then. The second hack that I wanted to share with you that really helped me a lot to increase my subscribers and my comments on my organic channel is including an outro. Okay, so of course in the beginning of the YouTube video I have an intro where I tell them what they're going to learn in this video, but also towards the end I have an outro. You see, like this video takes 31 minutes and 4 seconds, and the last 30 seconds more or less are dedicated to telling them thank you very much for listening. If you liked what you have seen, I would recommend you to subscribe. So click the subscribe button below and subscribe to my channel. Also give us a like to this video and leave a comment. Moreover, you can also follow us on all of these other channels like on Facebook and Instagram and on LinkedIn. And I don't know if you see it, but on the right side at the very bottom, you see there's an image of me, a little icon with Patrick Wynn and the Facebook symbol. That's a really cool button. So when you I think it's called watermark. Okay, if you enable this watermark, it's gonna be there at the right bottom during the entire video, and people just have to click there and they automatically subscribe. So they do not even have to wait until the end, or they don't even have to go somewhere else. It's just if in this video on the right bottom that you see here, if you just click there, they can automatically subscribe, which is of course very good and increases the subscriber rate. Now, that was it for the organic part, but now let's talk about more the paid ads, because that's what I really love, to really get your message out in front of millions of people with YouTube paid ads. And here you have to understand the magic formula. The magic formula is having the right message to the right people that will generate your desired results. So it's a little bit like the full funnel strategy, communicating the right message to the right people. And how can we do that? Well, of course, we have to start with a little bit of research to understand which keywords typically are relevant to our target audience. Placements, in the sense of YouTube ads, means which are the exact videos that our audience looks like. A placement is like the URL of one specific video, and we can really put our ads in front of specific videos, which is super powerful. We can also make it based on keywords, and which is super cool, which I do already for many years. I run retargeting campaigns on YouTube, so everyone who joined the webinar will see a retargeting ad on YouTube. Moreover, exactly, video remarketing. The different placements is, in this case, is the exact URLs of a specific video, and the trick is that you do not only have one or two of these videos, but you have like hundreds of thousands of these exact URLs that matter to you, of these exact videos. And it can also be from a competitor if you want. It can be from an influencer. It can be a specific tutorial, and that's of course super powerful. You can also make it based on specific interests, topics, and what is important to, once again, be patient, test and optimize, and the more customers you have, of course, the happier and the more money you will make. And the big ad format that YouTube ads allow us is the So the first one, the skippable video ads, that's the typical, it's also called in-stream video ads or in-stream true view. And this is the standard YouTube ad, okay? So the first 5 seconds are mandatory to watch, okay? And then people can click on skip the ad, okay? And what is super interesting for you is that you do not pay unless the user stays until 30 seconds or clicks on the ad before, or the ad or the video already ends before 30 seconds. Okay, so these are like, in general, your YouTube in-stream ads, your skippable video ads, are theoretically for free. Okay, so the first 5 seconds people have to watch anyways, but then if they stay for less than 25 seconds and click on skip the ad, you will not pay for that. Only if they stay longer than 30 seconds, then you pay. Or if the video is shorter than 30 seconds, let's say the total video is 20 seconds and they watch the entire video, then you pay. Or if they already click on the call to action, so not the skip now button, but so not skip the video, but if they click on your call to action, like sign up for the webinar, and they click on that. And that's, of course, very, very interesting. Additionally, you also can put some banners, which is something that I'm going to show you throughout this module, throughout this week. So on the, you see like in red where you have the video, but also where it is in gray, you can also put a banner, and this banner stays with the user throughout the entire video, even though they click skip the ad and they go to the actual video they wanted to watch. This banner still stays there, and that's a really cool hack that I'm going to show you throughout this week. Second category, non-skippable video ads. And non-skippable video ads basically people cannot click on skip the ad, and they're a little bit more expensive, and I usually do not use them so much. But what I do use are bumper ads. Bumper ads are also non-skippable video ads, and they can be maximum 6 seconds. And these bumper ads are very, very good for branding, like really big brands like Coca-Cola or Red Bull or Lufthansa. They use a lot of these bumper ads, okay, to put in the branding because they're super cheap, and you know they can. People have to watch 6 seconds and not only 5 seconds. And here you see one of my favorite YouTube retargeting ads. Basically just promoting the Facebook and Instagram Ads Accelerator program. Maybe you have seen this video on YouTube already. So basically, everyone who participated in the webinar and has not yet signed up gets this video shown to them. So far so good to YouTube. Now let's talk about Google Search. Google Search, it used to be called Google AdWords. Okay, please make sure that you will never ever say Google AdWords anymore, because it's not called Google AdWords anymore. It used to be called Google AdWords because these were like the words, the words that showed up, Google AdWords. But now Google Ads, it's much bigger, because in Google Ads, it's not just about search, which would be the AdWords, but you also have display. You also have actually the YouTube ads are inside your Google Ads Manager. You can also do something in the Google Play Store so I have app install campaigns. So you see, Google rebranded and their entire platform. So it's not Google AdWords anymore. Now it's called Google Ads, because it's much broader and much wider, and it offers many other options. Let's talk about the Google Search Ads. So for example, if someone searches for a taxi in Vienna, okay, you of course have the organic results, like where it says taxi in Vienna, Vienna now or never. And on top, you see the first ones. These are the ones that are the search ads, and they are also labeled with the ad. So it says ad, and these are the ones that show up above everything. And in order to really optimize your Google search ads, there are many tools, for example, the Google Keyword Planner, to really understand where is a lot of volume for specific keywords. Like for example, taxi Vienna. We would have to see if there's a lot of volume, and how about the competition, because the more volume and the fewer competition, the cheaper it's going to be for you. But if you have do not have a lot of volume but a lot of competition, then it's going to be more expensive. And therefore, throughout this week, I'm going to show you how to work with the Keyword Planner, and I'm also going to show you a cool hack, which are Google Ads ad extensions. So, for example, this ad here doesn't use a lot of extensions, but they could. So actually they're losing a bit of money here, because they could make their ad much bigger by including also ad extensions. Like for example, an ad extension with the actual link to the website, with their phone number, with some ratings. So Google Ad Extension will simply make your ad bigger. Now let's talk about the Google Display Network. The Google Display Network is wonderful to set up retargeting campaigns. Okay, you can also do prospecting, but I rather recommend to do your retargeting through the Google Display Network. And what it is, well, basically these are these banner ads that show up throughout the entire internet. Okay, so if you go, for example, to the website of a newspaper, you typically see some banner ads there, and the majority of them comes from Google. Okay, for example, here the New York Times. So either on desktop but also on the phone, you see the advertisement for this LG from this phone from LG. And here are some further sample display campaigns, for example, showing up on the left side, on the right side. So all of these banners can be done with Google Display Network. And throughout this week, I'm going to show you a lot of best practices to really get the most out of your campaigns. Another super important topic is search engine optimization. So you remember there were like the paid results, so the ones that showed up, but below are all of these organic results. And these organic results, or SEO, SEO means search engine optimization, to really optimize that you show up on the first page of these search engines, is a very good long-term investment, because once you're ranked there properly, you will stay there and you do not have to pay for that. So this is a lot of traffic that you will get more or less for free. Of course, you have to do some work in the beginning. You have to do some on-page optimization to have to improve the site architecture. You have to put in the right headlines. You have to increase the page load so that the page load speed is as high as possible. You also have to do some off-page optimization, some backlinking, and also some social media posts that refer to your website, and all of these things, which I'm going to show you throughout this week. And yeah, it's about off-page and on-page optimization, and their black hat and white hat strategies. Black hat strategies are the ones that are not so much aligned with the Google terms and conditions, and the white hat strategies are the ones that are super compliant and are the ones that I recommend you, which are the better long-term investment, because they will make sure that you're gonna stay on these first pages and the first results of Google. Besides YouTube, besides Google, there is also another really hot paid platform right now, which are LinkedIn sponsored ads. LinkedIn sponsored ads are very similar to the Facebook ads. They can show up here on the feed. You see, like the one in the middle, like on the feed, on the desktop, but and also on the phone. And the biggest opportunity for you with LinkedIn ads is if you have a B2B client. Okay, so on the one hand, you can of course promote your own funnels there to acquire customers, but also if you have a B2B client, LinkedIn is really the number one choice when it comes to B2B. Okay, so 41% of marketers in B2B put LinkedIn ahead of Facebook as the number one choice. Here's why. First, behavior. It's a true B2B heavyweight. The users engage on LinkedIn for professional networking purposes over social connections. So the reason why they go there is already because they want to do something work-related. Engagement. 60% of LinkedIn users have clicked on an ad on LinkedIn. So people typically click on these ads, and it's not so, people are not so saturated so far. Demographic. 48% decision makers, 332 million users, 30% of which log in every day. Effectiveness, the top 5 social media channels for B2B. LinkedIn is clearly the number one. Also, Facebook is in the top 5. Yay! But for B2B, of course, LinkedIn is very powerful. And also the seniority, like the level of ranks, or let's put it that way, the job positions on LinkedIn are typically so you have a lot of senior level positions on LinkedIn, like the owners of the company, partner, vice president, directors, and senior. So you have a lot of very high level demographics there, and therefore it's a very nice platform to run some customer acquisition in the B2B environment on LinkedIn. And as I said, the ads can be displayed basically in 3 different placements, 3 different formats. One is the typical newsfeed ad. You see here even an ad from Workplace from Facebook on LinkedIn. So that's why I took the screenshot, because I thought it's funny. And you see it says promoted below, and it basically shows up directly on the feed. Can be shown on desktop newsfeed, but also on mobile newsfeed. And also on the right side, you have something like the right column, you see, where it says promoted sophisticated marketer free virtual conference. So this is the second placement, like the right column. And the third one are in-mail messages. So for example, here it says Patrick Wynn, sponsor, join our webinar, and you can really hyper personalize these messages. Hey, first name, last name. I've seen that you are the job position of company. Therefore, I wanted to connect with you as we're both in the, and then you can even put the industry, and it takes it automatically. And then I invite them to the webinar. And that's of course a cool option. And all of these free ad types, like the one on the newsfeed, the one on right column, and also the one in message, you can optimize for conversions. Okay, so you can run a conversion campaign there's also something like the Facebook pixel for LinkedIn. It's called LinkedIn Insights Tag. Okay, and this LinkedIn Insights tag, you can also define different conversions. For example, if I send this message to people, I run a conversion campaign and optimize it for leads. So I have, when someone signs up for the webinar, I have the conversion lead defined, okay? And therefore, I can really optimize for, I can run a conversion campaign optimized for leads on these direct messages and also on feeds and on right column. And that's the way it looks from the inside. The LinkedIn Campaign Manager, very similar to the Facebook Ads Manager. You have accounts, you have ads, and you have campaigns. The only thing that is different is that there are no ad sets, okay? But ad sets can also be called ad groups. And so instead of ad groups, you have campaign groups. But on campaign groups, you do not really manage anything. You do not really have to make any adjustments, any setups. It's basically just it's just a folder where you can basically better structure your campaigns. But it's very similar. You need to have an account, which is super easy to create. Within this account, you have a campaign. In the campaign, you do all the settings for the right campaign objective, but also for audience setting, for placements, ad formats. And then you basically create your ads. And then you have your dashboard where you can interpret the results. And something that is super cool about LinkedIn ads is the advanced targeting options. So on LinkedIn, you can really make use of all the data that people put in their LinkedIn profile. And as LinkedIn typically is like a CV, so like a curriculum, many people put in a lot of data because they want to look as good as possible. So we have all of these data that we can use for our targeting. So for example, we can do audience attributes like job title, industry, or skills. And, which is super powerful, and I don't know if you have known that, but we can also do retargeting campaigns on LinkedIn. So as I said, there is something like the Facebook pixel. It's the LinkedIn Insights tag that we can install on our website, and then we can retarget website visitors. And besides that, we can also upload our customer list, for example, and exclude them or run specific upsell campaigns. But now let's come to the prospecting ones. So to reach new people, we can do based on company, demographics, education, job experience, interest, and traits. And demographics, you can perfectly target people based on their age or based on their gender, which is something that's of course super helpful. And when it comes to job experience, you can do something which is a really cool hack. You can filter by member skills. So not just their interests, but actually the skills that other people have confirmed on their profile. So that people have validated that they really have skills in sales and marketing, B2B marketing, even Facebook marketing, multi-channel, or better omni-channel marketing, content marketing. And of course, you can also filter for people that have studied something related to marketing, and you can put in every keyword that you want here. And which are the ad formats? Well, I've told you about the big formats, like here. You see like the ones on feed, the ones on right column, and the ones in these messages. And the way to set it up is basically you can choose one of the three upper ones. You see like single image, carousel, and video. These are the ones that show up on feed. Then you have the text ad. Text, that is the one that's on right column, like on the right side. Spotlight is a new one that I haven't tried so far. And message ads are the ones that you send direct messages directly into the inbox of the user. So these were already the really super cool key marketing channels. And additionally, there are also some future marketing channels that I wanted to already include in this week of content, because I know that it's going to be important for the majority of you. And the first one is already native ads. So native advertising can be done with several platforms. It's also a little bit similar to the Google Display Network, but depending on the country, sometimes other competitors to Google have even better publishers in their network, or they're cheaper. Like for example, Taboola. Taboola is a pretty cool publisher network from Israel, and they basically have already conquered the entire world. And also, well, actually, especially in the German-speaking countries, they have a very strong network, so publisher network, and you can really make sure that your native ads, which look like this little, like an advertorial, so to say, it looks like an additional article that people can read further, okay? But this article basically has the aim to sell you something, okay? And for example, here you see where it says sponsored links by Taboola. Okay, people do not see that so much, but you have to have a very good image. You have to have a very good title. And then people click on it and they come to your advertorial, and then you can link them to your website. And on the one hand, this is of course a good opportunity for prospecting, but I never use it for prospecting because you do not have so many filter options. You cannot really segment at all, but it is wonderful. It's absolutely fantastic for retargeting. So you basically just have to install the Taboola pixel on your site, and then you can re-impact everyone that has visited your webinar, that has visited your website throughout this Taboola retargeting display network. Another really cool channel is of course Snapchat. So far, it's more for the younger generation, and depending on the country, many people use it or not. For example, in France, many people use it. The last number that I knew were like they had 11 million monthly active users. So Snapchat is really huge in France. Here in Spain, for example, it's not that big, or in Austria, it's also not that big, but it really depends on the country. And as I said, it's rather younger generation. But the ad formats are very similar to Instagram stories, and they also have other ad formats, and it's interesting to know more about it, especially when you target younger audiences in the different countries. And the hottest platform when it comes to organic growth right now is definitely TikTok, okay? TikTok, however, has still the little problem that the audience is even younger than on Snapchat. But at one point of time, these younger people are gonna be older, and on the other hand, also older people like me are going to also integrate to TikTok. So they're gonna start using TikTok a lot, and TikTok ads is very interesting because TikTok doesn't, well, they choose a different approach. So TikTok ads are always trying to add value to their customer. It's not just being a spammy ad, but it's more like adding value. For example, with a brand takeover, of course they have some in-feed videos, but they're also like adding value with hashtag challenges or branded lenses. So TikTok really aims that their advertisers do not just spam their users with some commercials, but they rather add value. For example, they invent a new hashtag like the Nike hashtag or the branded lenses, where you can see how Puma, well, whatever, so the Puma logo, or there's a Puma in your augmented reality lenses or whatever. So they really always try to add value, which is a pretty good idea. And then of course you can set up chatbots to automate your communication with the customer, which is also something that is of course highly relevant and highly interesting, because it can really help you to automate the entire conversation. And as I said, this is just the beginning of omnichannel marketing. Omnichannel marketing means that you have your customer in the center, and that you choose as many relevant channels to communicate a coherent marketing message for this customer. I've told you in this video that throughout this week, I'm going to show you additional channels besides Facebook and Instagram ads. In this week, I'm going to show you how to set up YouTube paid ads, how to run Google search and display ads, how to get ranked in the organic search results with search engine optimization, how to promote B2B businesses via LinkedIn sponsored ads, and some further future marketing channels like native advertising with Taboola, Snapchat, and TikTok. Thank you very much for listening, and see you in the next video.